Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome back to our space exploration playthrough. Since our last episode, we have put modules in quite a few buildings, and I went ahead and set up module 2s. They're not very interesting. I'm just using the blue circuits that we had already crafted, and I'm just using the excess red circuits from the modules in the first place. So now we have nowhere near enough red circuits to keep any of this going, but it will at least craft them slowly, so over time I can put module 2s and everything. Module 3s, if I remember correctly, are a bit more of a booger bear. They're going to need a lot of processing units and batteries, and the research requires production science packs. So we won't have module 3s for quite a while yet, but we can at least work on module 2s. I did some more quality of life research. You can see I'm working on some more right now, and I placed modules in all of the miners. So you can see I did 2 efficiency 1 modules in pretty much, at least not even pretty much, I think literally every single miner I have on the map. I think I placed 2 efficiency 1s in, and that's going to save us a lot of power and a lot of pollution, because I believe the way pollution works is it's proportional to the energy usage of the default building. So if we're consuming 80% less power, you can see down at the bottom right here, it says that minus 80% is the limit on negative power usage. And so that way it will only use 20% of the power, which means it makes 20% pollution. And there's a minus 20% on the efficiency modules, so it makes less pollution per kilowatt, as well as using only 20% of the kilowatts. So I believe the regular pollution for a miner is 10 per minute, and these are only 1.6 per minute. So I've cut my pollution into essentially 1/6 from miner usage, and that will help a lot. And I put them all in the iron miners as well. So that way we don't really have to worry about our power usage too much. You can see if I go to the 1 hour and click on electric mining drills, you can see they used to use quite a bit of power, and then you can see when I started putting all the efficiency modules in, now there's a very small power draw with all of my electric miners. So, and then I'm wondering if the idle power changes with that as well. Oh, these don't have any idle power usage in the first place, so we don't have to worry about that. But let's, I'm actually curious. I don't use efficiency modules very often, so let's check in one of these. The minimum consumption is 5. And for one like this, which has extra modules in it, the minimum consumption is still 5. Does that change with efficiency modules? Let's find out. So if I place one, pick a recipe, and put efficiency in it, the minimum consumption is still 5. So the power draw from just being idle is the same no matter what. But, you know, if we look at our power grid, we've got 200 assembling machines, and if they're all taking 5 kilowatts, that's exactly 1 megawatt is all they take by being idle. So that's not very much. And if we go to the pollution tab, which they added at some point, haven't used it a whole lot, but we can also see that miners used to be the biggest. This was our electric mining drill. And then you can see that it's all the way down here now, taking up very little of our pollution. And now the biggest polluters are boilers and assembling machines. So I don't believe we can put efficiency modules in boilers, so we're not going to get any more efficient with that. The best thing we can do is place down some solar. I did handcraft some solar panels just for fun. I figure if I handcraft some here and there, over time we can get a little bit of solar power going. I'll just place these out of the way. At some point I may end up automating solar panels and accumulators to get big blocks of solar going, but you know, every solar panel helps. If I remember correctly, these produce an average of 42 kilowatts for free forever. So, you know, placing down 20 of them is close to a megawatt of free power. Okay, so let's see, what else have I done? I made some more boilers, just to make sure we can keep up with our power output, or, yeah, power usage. So I put down 8 more boilers with steam engines. And let's see, I placed down some more concrete, and I also, this is maybe a bigger change, but I set the biters back to peaceful because I found myself, I made a car right here and drove around and took care of a couple more biter bases, and I was like, this is just busy work. I don't have enough biters to really have to worry about, you know, massive attacks on the base. I'm just placing random turrets. It didn't feel that productive to me. So I think I'll wait on the whole biter challenge until we get to another planet. And I'm not going to worry too much about biters right now. So if that disappoints you, let me know in the comments. But I guess this has never really been that much of a biter heavy playthrough, except in that first episode when we basically couldn't even handle the biters that were close to us. But other than that, we haven't had really any issues with them. So, okay, we finished all our research. Let's queue up some more. I may just finish off the red. They use a lot of red science packs, but red science packs are very cheap, so I may just finish off those. And then I'm also close to exoskeletons, so I actually might go for that first. Exoskeleton equipment. So all we will need to do is get some electric engines going, and then we can get our wonderful exoskeletons. So I'm going to prioritize that because I really, really like moving faster. And belt immunity, oh my goodness, that is so handy. So we'll work on that as well. Where did it go? Here it is. So electric engine, and then exoskeleton equipment. And then power armor we will need as well. So, and we already have modular armor. And so the 7x7 will give us a lot more space. And the inventory size bonus is super nice. And we don't need purple signs for any of that. So I guess the next thing on our list was exoskeletons. And then better oil processing. I'm not really sure why I have that on my list. I don't totally remember. We could make solid fuel out of oil, and that would be probably a more efficient way than just coal. And we can also put solid fuel into the fuel processors to make it, you know, 10% more efficient, so we get that boost still. But I'm not really sure how much that's going to help because we're still polluting with the boilers. So, and I don't think there's any way to make boilers pollute less. Yeah, they're gonna do the 30 per minute pollution no matter what I do. So solar is really the only way to avoid pollution. And since my biters are on peaceful, I guess it doesn't even really matter too much. But let's go ahead and think about how to craft our electric engines. They require green circuits, electric motors, engine units, and lubricant. So, I mean, I have a lot of extra engines from my other engine line, so I think it would make the most sense to just... Eventually, I'll put some speed modules in these, so I'll produce more than I need for my blue science, and then I can make the overflow go this direction, output priority left, and then we'll just make electric engine units off of this. That seems to be the most reasonable thing to do, for me at least. And so let's just make 6. I don't think I'm going to need tons and tons. We'll pipe lubricant down, and then we need circuits and electric motors on these 2 lines. So circuits, we brought over to here. And since I only need 1 circuit each, I think I'm fine to use this line, even though there's only 1 little crafter making these circuits. I think they're not going to be in high demand. So I will actually go ahead and put a splitter here. And we'll try to route these all the way over. And I'm going to have to redo my science soon once I get beacons, because we're going to want to beacon all of these with both speed and productivity. Because productivity in science labs is very nice. Obviously, you get more bang for your buck with every single science pack. And we're out of belts. Let's just re-up on everything. We've got almost 50. Get my splitters back up to 50. Get my undergrounds back up to 100. And get my red belts to 400. I must have replaced a big yellow belt with red belts. I think that might have been coal miners. I think I improved my coal mines to red belt, and that's where all those yellow belts came from. And put the yellow splitters away. And I think that's it. I'm holding way more stone bricks than I want to be holding, so I'm going to get rid of those. Of course, I didn't put a limit on that chest, so we'll build a second chest for now. I think 2 stacks is more than enough to hold. And, okay, we've got all this done. We'll want a belt immunity. Modular armor I haven't crafted just yet, so we'll get started on that. And then I'm trying to think. So portable solar panels. I'll need batteries. What about fusion? Am I close enough to... Oh my goodness. No, I am nowhere near close enough to that. Looks like they don't want you using that. So we will need the personal battery. Interesting. So that's going to change. So we're going to need... Oh, what's jetpack equipment? Allows you to fly over structures in water. Multiple jetpacks let you fly faster. Consumes fuel. Can burn rocket fuel, nuclear fuel, or processed fuel. So maybe jetpacking around is going to be the way to go rather than exoskeletons. Huh. Maybe that's the intended way to get around. We'll go ahead and research it. They're 2x2. And it's even better than squeak through, where I don't even have to worry about buildings and stuff. I can just jetpack over everything. So maybe that'll be cool. We can get some rocket fuel and jetpack around the world. But we'll need electric engines either way for lots of various buildings. And let me remind myself, do we need them for production science packs? I think I built the production line here into Helmod. So we don't use any electric engines in production science packs, so I'm not going to worry about mass producing them yet. Okay, that's right. We're bringing over... Wow, we're using... Getting distracted by everything, but we're using a lot of copper. What are we using all this for? Oh, the red belts, of course. You know what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to... I'm going to limit this to half a belt, half a yellow belt, but then I'm going to create a buffer. So this will have the effect of... I actually want these to be here. It'll be less swingy in terms of usage on the iron. So it can only use a maximum of 7.5 per second, but we'll build up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 500 gears will be enough to handle... Let's see, how many belts will that get me? 100 fast transport belts? No, maybe I should build up to 1,000. So we'll build up to 1,000 gears at a time, which will release plenty. And then I should probably think about productivity modules in these guys, since... Yeah. So we'll just put productivity in there. Now they use a maximum of 10, but we get 12% more free gears. Excuse me. More free gears at the use of more power. So we'll just leave that the way it is. I think that'll work fine. So back to what we were doing. We need to bus over the green chips. I keep calling them chips. I don't even really know where I got that. It's just shorter than saying circuits. I think I like it a little better. Change this to a red underground. Bring these over. There we go. Oh, and we'll do these quality of life researches. Keep that going. And bring them down. And now we just need electric motors. Which, we needed regular motors for this, so I can actually make electric motors if I have some copper available. So this is becoming a bit messy, but we'll figure it out. So I will have steel go here, and then I can have my copper split off like this. Come down. And then that produces 1.25. How much do all of these use together? They use 1.05. So we've already got a bit of excess. Do we have enough to deal with electric motors? 0.45. It's close. I think once I get productivity in everything with beacons, this will actually be enough. So we will use the motors. Although right now it's not even backed up. So maybe... Oh, that's because I'm not getting enough gears in here. So I need another gears producer. So we'll put that here. Perfect. So we'll put another gear producer here. This. And once the red belts finish, we'll get plenty more iron. But I'm surprised at how much I'm using. I guess a lot of it's going to ammo right now as well, because we used quite a bit. I should put... Yeah, let me just put away the ammo that I have. I'm not going to need. Probably more than... We'll keep 2 stacks just in case I need to defeat a base somewhere. But once that builds back up, we should be having a lot more, because you use 4 for a firearm magazine, and then I guess that's it per piercing round. Okay, so we've got our motors. Now they're going at full speed. I don't know if I want to slow it down. I don't have any speed 2s yet. Okay, we'll deal with Jetpack in a second. Then I need electric motors, which we'll grab from these motors. And we will need a copper cable. Here. Like so. And now we've got those motors, and we need to place those on the close side of this belt. So we will just extend the pickup and then go on the close side. And that should do it. Here we go. That produces 3, which can do about half of this, which is 0.45-ish, which is, I believe, enough to keep all these running. So that should work, and now I just need lubricant. Let me set up my inserters. Get some power going. And then we need, I guess I don't need those 2. What else do we need? We need our lubricant line. I guess I could do the thing that I've done quite a few times now and just place them onto the far side of that belt. And then we'll power from underneath. We'll line them up with the other power poles. And then we don't need this to go farther. Although we might want to expand it later. For now, we'll just do that so that I can expand it farther without too much difficulty. So these will be my electric engines. Need some power on the top. And then we'll just need lubricant. So lubricant, if it's same as the base game, yeah, it just comes from heavy oil. So that's pretty easy. 10 per second, we need 18 per second, so we'll get 2 chemical plants. Excuse me. 2 chemical plants going production. I kind of have this weird habit where I just click on tabs until I find what I'm looking for, and I don't know if my brain stops to actually process which tabs I'm clicking on. So this is kind of for plastic, so I kind of want... Trying to think, I could actually... My crude oil comes in from here. So it might be easier to also just pipe my crude oil over to here and make the lubricant on site. I think that's what I'll do. Where else do I use lubricant? I need it for the express belts, lots of the complicated stuff later. More complicated stuff, space belts, and that's it. So really, I will only need it here and here for my basic stuff. So maybe I'll make it back here and then just pipe the lubricant over, because then I can have it come up here as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. We need like an oil refinery, probably a fuel refinery. And I think this is as good a spot as any. We'll see how this goes. We can always move these copper lines out of the way. Yeah, we'll go with this. Why not? So we want to make mostly heavy oil, and then we'll need another chemical plant to deal with the light oil. So this will make lubricant. That's easy. Oh, 2 of them. And then this one will go light. Actually, we rather would just have 2 fuel refineries. Oh, those are large. I didn't know they were this large. They're exactly the same as the oil refineries. Okay, interesting. I guess there's a little white on top, but other than that, looks like the same model. So we'll want to turn that into solid fuel, which can use 20, and then we'll need another one for the petroleum. Another option would be to pipe this petroleum, to turn this light oil into petroleum and pipe the petroleum up to our plastic, and actually have it so that it uses this first, but I think I'd rather just turn it into solid fuel, and we can put it on this belt to go into our furnaces. So we'll do that. I could even just, well, actually, is there a void? A flare stack? Chemical? Huh. So I'm used to a lot of other mod packs, you can just void your excess liquids, but it looks like in this one you can't. I guess I could put them in tanks and then at once in a while click on it and void everything, but that doesn't feel like a good solution. So we'll use the fuel refineries. We'll go ahead and put them here. That can handle up to 40 petrol, so yeah, we'll be more than okay with that. So we'll do that. And then this. Of course, I'm out of pipes. Let's go grab some more. And we need an underground like that, connected to the petroleum line. Yes, that'll work. Make sure copper keeps flowing. And the oil short stop by there. Put the petroleum over. Those don't need anything else. We will actually do one of these, place these onto a belt, and then input priority left. So we'll use that first, and output priority right, and then we'll put this into a chest. That way, well, let's see. No, that's not how I want to do it, because then I'll end up getting processed fuel. So we actually just want to leave that the way it is, but if we have extra fuel, then it will go here, and that will go into a chest. Because we don't want processed fuel to go into the chest, just the solid fuel. Okay, we've got that. We need water. water well. And get this all powered. I think that should do it. There we go. And again, we'll beacon and productivity all of this at some point. For now, I might as well put... Wow, these consume a lot of energy. I'm actually going to put 2 into each. That way they're consuming a lot less energy. Same here. At least put 1 into each of these. Save ourselves some energy and pollution. Doesn't cost us much. And now we've got solid fuel, which will first go into this line. I think I might have this belt go onto both sides. Is there a way to do that easily with the space that I have? I'll have you put 1 higher. Then we'll split. Then we'll go out and in like that. And then this needs to be 1 farther. I've maybe made this more complicated than I needed to. I think that still works even if you put priority right and then input priority left. We'll see if that works. I need to get rid of a little bit of lubricant to make it all run again. I don't see that grabbing anything. Oh, I guess because it hasn't filled up yet, but that should work. There we go. Okay. And we'll get rid of our solid fuel. So that'll build up over time, but I'm guessing a lot of it will end up getting used in our furnaces. Okay, so that's all set up. Now we need to have our lubricant. I think we'll go over and then underneath this. So we'll go here. And I'm going to grab another stack of underground pipes. I will need those. Okay. There we go. And then we should just, I'm going to go up vertically from here. And go over. There we go. Electric engines. Bingo. And then we will want productivity modules and speed modules, speed beacons. Because engines are actually fairly expensive. You know, the total raw resources you need for 1 electric engine is quite high. I finished all the train researches for when we set that up eventually. Got the storehouses, warehouses, strong boxes. They require a lot of concrete and steel. Looks like I'm out of steel, so I'll go grab some more. Yeah, this is all built up now. That's great. Okay, copper we're good on. Iron, let's take a couple more stacks. Steel, I'll take 4. Now that I've got the modular armor, that's nice with the inventory size bonus. And we get also some inventory size from these quality of life researches. We'll get night vision, we'll make our nanobots faster. We'll get the stack filter inserter. Might as well just kind of finish out all this research. I think flammables gets us rocket fuel, which we'll need at some point. Especially if we're jetpacking around. But now we've got electric engines going. So we can, yeah, we can do exoskeletons and a jetpack. But we'll need some portable solar panels to power. So let's see, 1 exoskeleton requires 20 kilowatts, which is 6 portable solar panels plus batteries to back it up. 20 megajoules can handle let's see, 200 kilowatts times 10, so 100 seconds of exoskeleton walking for one battery. Those are 2x4. This has 49 spaces. This uses 8. So I could probably do 2 or 3 exoskeletons with enough solar panels and batteries inside my power armor. So we do need to get some batteries automated real quick. I'm not going to... Let's see, what are they crafted in? Battery. Ooh, personal battery Mark II. Those are much more expensive. I don't have low density structures yet. But batteries are crafted in the chemical plants still. Okay, so we'll get a few of those. Maybe just one. Because we need sulfuric acid, which is right here. And what else do we need? We need sulfuric acid, we need iron plates and copper plates, which I have the copper plates available. Where are iron plates? Nowhere near. So I may actually feed them from the same iron plate as this guy. And then I will use the sulfuric acid. And then I will just put copper plates in here as well. And I'll go get some more of those. I will need to automate batteries probably sometime soon. But for now, that'll be good enough to get the few stacks that I need. I should probably put them in a chest. They stack to 200. Seems a bit arbitrary which items stack to 200 and which stack to 100. I guess batteries are kind of small, so maybe that's why they stack to 200, but who knows. Okay, so batteries are a bit slower. Maybe I should have had 2 going, but we'll put a speed module in there. Now that these are all done, we can grab some stacks of everything. So we'll want probably 100 of the speed and 100 of the productivity 2s. So those will slowly build up again, but we can now start placing more of these. And I can replace my productivity 1s. 56 sulfuric acid per second. I don't think we're going to come anywhere near using that. I may actually switch out. I may just do another productivity. Yeah, it's still 32 per second. I don't think we're coming close to using that in our... trying to remember where even... Oh yeah, the blue circuits. How much are we using up here? And I copy-pasted this a couple more times, if you can't tell. But yeah, these are only using 1.5, so we'll go for max productivity. And for this one, we will do max productivity with some speed. And I think that balances out. So now we just get 12% free batteries without a speed hit. Which actually means we're crafting 12% faster because the free ones are kind of a speed boost as well. But we're using a lot more power. That's fine. I don't care too much about power right now. We've got another 20 megawatts not being used. Okay, so we've got our batteries. So now it's just down to crafting... Is it in the military? Yeah. Crafting some batteries. Let's see. So I think we'll probably want 2 batteries per exoskeleton. So we'll start with 3 exoskeletons and see if that all works. And then we'll need at least 6 of the solar panels because they don't charge at night. So 6 can essentially handle 1 exoskeleton during the daytime, but I also don't walk 100% of the time. So, you know, you got to think about how much do you walk on average. So we'll need a lot more processing units for everything here. So we will grab 2 stacks from this. And that should get us our power armor. I just have to be very careful not to take power armor off when my inventory is full, or we make the explosion of items that I think everybody has done at some point or another. You hate to see it. Okay, let's get rid of some of these extra engines. Pick up a full stack. I want to limit these. We'll have 2 stacks because I'm going to use quite a few here. Yeah, we need 30, so I can craft all 3 of those. And let's see, can I just, yeah, I can just right click it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. We'll put our batteries in the side here. And then we'll need lots of solar panels. Which, oh, I have to put a regular solar panel into a tiny solar panel. Physics of that don't make a whole lot of sense, but I'll accept it. So we need more glass. And so that's 6, 6, 6. We'll start with that, see if everything fits. I haven't done all the math yet. And my 3rd exoskeleton. And that'll take a while to handcraft, I think. So sometimes the Helmod Smart Tool ends up dropping the blueprint in your inventory. Not exactly sure why. I think it's supposed to self-delete, but sometimes that doesn't work out. Get rid of those. And we now have exoskeletons complete. So that's great. I think the next thing I want to do is automate electric furnaces because we want to get towards beacons. So electric furnaces are much more expensive than in the vanilla game because of this heat shielding. This heat shielding requires a crap ton of stone tablets, and I mean a decent amount of iron too. You know, one heat shielding is 2 steel plates, so it's like a double steel, which is already 5 iron. So that's 10 iron and 20 tablets, which is 5 bricks, which is 10 stone. So 10 stone, 10 iron, and 8 sulfur, which is, what, 4 times that? 120 petroleum gas, which is a little bit more than 120 oil. So heat shielding is pretty expensive. And then we need 2 heat shielding to go into 1 furnace, as well as 5 more steel. So I mean, it just, which is already a steel furnace as well, which is 6 more steel. So that's 11 steel, plus another 4. So we need 15 steel to go into 1 electric furnace. And we need the electric furnaces for 3 science packs. So these production science packs are going to use a lot of steel. Also, the rails use steel, so that's another 15 steel. And then just a little bit of circuit goodness, so it'll use a little bit of copper, but it'll use a ton of steel. So I would like to get electric furnaces automated, which means we need heat shielding automated, which I think I can do here. I will need to bring stone over. We have half a belt of stone here. I think that'll be good enough. But is there any way? I've not left myself a lot of room. I did tell you, I told you this was going to be spaghetti, and you have gotten what I promised. This is spaghetti. Okay, we'll do that. And then I think that's everything we need except for sulfur. We'll have to figure out the sulfur later. But for now, we will work on a couple heat shielding crafting buildings. Okay, let's see how fast it crafts. 0.075, so not very quickly. 4.5 per minute. So I'm gonna think maybe 4.3 per second. 6 stone tablets. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna beacon this, but we'll maybe do 8 to start with. And I'm gonna move this all a little bit. Give myself a little bit more space. Actually, we'll use this area over here. I don't think I'm using it for anything. I don't plan on needing more space for these 2 colors of science, so I might as well. We'll space it out a little bit and go here. And then we're going to need 12 stone tablets. I accidentally just put coal in that inventory spot. So 12 stone tablets. I think these go pretty fast. Let's see if 2 is enough. That's exactly right. Perfect. So tablet. I want to make sure. Yeah, there's no other ways to make them. I also probably should have grabbed some more green circuits. We're going to grab some more green circuits, so I'm not handcrafting 75. Grab 2 stacks. We need some more red circuits, which are here. Excuse me. Okay. Got our red circuits and steel portable solar panels. Let's get those 12 placed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I only have room for 13, so I may end up only doing 2 exoskeletons. Or remove a battery. Honestly, not sure what the best idea is here. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough space for really powering 3 all the time. Because that's only 13, which produces... Here, it tells me 390, which is only enough to power 2 during the daytime. So that's really assuming I'm spending a lot of time not walking to be able to power these. So I think we'll settle for just 2 right now. And we'll fill these 8 spots with solar panels as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think we'll settle for 60% speed. And because I don't like having wasted inventory spots, I'm going to get rid of a couple things here. I can always craft more of those if I need them. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this chest. Oop, that's the wrong chest. Okay. So we've got our stone tablets, and we just need sulfur. So we will put these on a belt, going close. Like that, and then we will place. So we need to input 3 items. So we'll do the same thing that we've done before. Oh, that walking speed is so nice. Copy this. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, and then we'll put the stone on this side of the belt. That only uses 3 stone per second. I think I have more than that. I guess we'll find out. I'll leave that space open. That's kind of my way of future-proofing this in case I want to then have this underground go somewhere later. That way I don't have to move things in case that's what I want to do. Who knows what I'll actually end up doing. Place with the bottom inserter there. Okay, so we've got the tablets. Now we just need to bring the steel up, which we will have this go underground. Steel will go up. And we'll put it on the bottom side of this belt, like that. Now we just need to bring sulfur over. Altogether, this needs 4.8 sulfur per second. So, sulfur gets created fairly quickly. 1 chemical plant is 2 per second. So with some speed modules, I'll probably only need 2 chemical plants. So I'm going to grab some more electric engines, or motors. I guess engines and motors are very different things in this game. Make sure I've got all the other stuff while I'm here. Gears. And inserters, we'll need another 50. So I maybe need 2 chemical plants. This walking speed is so nice. I'm enjoying it greatly. I'll scrap some more. I'll use them eventually. Although I probably am out of glass is the problem. No, steel plate. I'll deal with that later. So I think I'm just going to pipe the petroleum over rather than piping the sulfur over. Although I could just extend the sulfur from this belt down. Maybe that's the easiest path. And I'll just make another couple sulfur makers right here. This is the least organized maybe I've ever been in my life with with the oil products. It's kind of invigorating to do something this disorganized. Okay, that'll do it for sulfur. We will put, let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe 1 speed, 2 productivity. That ends up with 2.24. That works for now. Uses a lot more power, but we're still fine on power. And then we want to have this go underground, and we want to be on the close side. Something like this. And this. So that will give us plenty of sulfur for both. Might as well change that one to be more productive. So now we're getting lots of sulfur at a maximum of 90 petroleum per second, which these produce only 54. So I need to speed these up. Stick with that for now. 70 petroleum per second. Because if I'm also using some plastic, we'll just do another speed. Yeah, that's 90. So that'll be not quite enough if I'm doing everything at the same time with blue science and with the heat shielding, but that's fine. So you'll also notice it's interesting, you know, it shows the max consumption is plus 60%, but the crafting speed is plus 60%. So these actually consume the normal amount of power per petroleum produced. So even though it feels like they use a lot more power, they actually use exactly the same as a normal refinery because the efficiency cancels out the difference here. Because you can see the energy goes up by 60, but the speed is only going up by 30. If those were both 30, this actually wouldn't cost more energy. It just uses the power faster. So when you can balance out the energy usage, it feels pretty good. And then this one, we'll do this and leave room there. Let's see, I'm actually going to want beacons here. So we'll bring this down and over. Oops, that's not what I wanted. We want that like that. That should do it. And eventually I'll get really long inserters, and I could have... I really don't want to be messing with that, but I could have it pick up from here and place on this side of the belt when the inserter's sitting all the way out here, which is cool. Let me actually see how close we are to those. So I can do another capacity bonus. Long inserters 2. Okay, we're going to need the purple science for logistics 3. And then more inserters 2 is... I might as well research purple science while I'm here. It lets you change the angles even more. So here you can see we're limited to 45-degree angles, but then it lets you change to any angle. So once you get the next 2 researches done, you can have the pick up and drop off any tile within a 3x3, well, a distance of 3 grid. So that's, I guess, a 7x7 grid that you get to play with. So it makes almost anything possible. The only thing you can't do is place over an entire assembler, because you still only can go 3 spaces, but you really have a crazy amount of flexibility with that. And we are going to go straight for full productivity in these because they're so expensive. even though that slows me down to half per second. I'm okay with that. We'll get beacons soon enough, and then we'll add some speed beacons. But I just want to make sure we're saving as many resources as possible. And then I'm going to beacon this. So placing onto, we're going to put this in my little, I also have a lane balancer that I used for one of my ores. It's cool because it lets you use from both sides of the lane equally, even if your inserters are only pulling from one side of the lane. But, okay, so I've copied that one, and then I also want to copy this one, because I'll use this a lot. And we'll call this output undergrounds. I never know how I should capitalize. Output undergrounds. I wish I could, you know, drag that picture. Can I do this? Okay, there we go. We'll do that. And then this will be input 2 lane, put 2 lane. So we'll do that. And we'll do this. We'll switch the order so it's the same as what the other one was. Maybe I should put a picture of an assembler on there too. There we go. So now we can use this design a lot more. So output undergrounds. Here we go. All right, that should do it. And we've got heat shielding. Put that in a chest. What do they stack to? They stack to 50, so 500 seems like plenty for now. And now we need to automate rails, because electric furnaces, or no, that's the production science packs. These, we have everything we need. So we need advanced circuits. Unfortunately, stone furnaces need regular stone. Huh. Trying to think of the best way to do this. So we need steel, stone, and stone brick, all to be steel furnaces. So I have steel and stone brick, but I don't have stone. At this point, I'm wondering if there's any stone nearby. I'm going to turn off pollution. There's 88,000 down here. That's not very much. There's 1 million all the way up there. Do I really want to have a belt coming from there? I don't think so. Okay, well, I'll just need a belt stone over. I think I'm going to need to upgrade this to a red belt and improve my stone mining capacity sooner or later, but I think we'll just go underneath all of this, past the blue science, and down. That should be fine. So we'll grab a few more stacks of belts. Oh, we have the stone right here. So we'll just do that. We'll just come up, past the copper, leave some space there. And we'll go directly beneath this because that will still leave us space for beacons to reach. So we can leave some more empty space here for whatever I want to do with it later. Okay, we can get rid of these turrets because I'm a pansy and removed spiders. Well, I didn't remove them. They're just on peaceful. So then for furnaces, we will need to bring this down, and I'll need stone brick and steel. Which the steel is already here, and then we'll bring up stone brick, but we need... I guess I can just put beacons on that side, so I don't need to worry about beacons on both sides because of the way this mod pack works. So we will need stone. Let's just have another. That will get in the way of my beacons for green science. So come down, over, around. Okay, so we should be able to automate steel furnaces. So regular furnaces, yeah, 1.5 per second is more than enough. Steel furnaces, we can bring this up, 0.25 per second. So maybe we do 3. We can do this. And then we just need regular furnaces on a different belt here. As usual, not my proudest design, but I'll take it. Stone furnaces, input. I don't think you can do productivity for these. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So we've got steel furnaces going, heat shielding, and then we need to bring over advanced circuits, and the steel plates will need to carry on. So we'll have them in a reversed underground, shift R, we'll reverse it, pick it, reverse it. Okay, so we've got steel, and then we need to bring over red circuits. You know, I might as well have brought over red circuits with, we'll just bring them to here. We'll do this, and then we'll just change this, although that switches what side of the belt they're on. I'll intercept that before it gets here. So the sulfur will now be on the top side of the belt, which means we need to do this. But then we'll have circuits on the bottom side of the belt, so we can do that. And then we'll just go ahead and grab all this because it's on. Or no, that's still working properly. And we just need to get rid of all our sulfur. I grabbed too much. Well, we can get rid of the rest in a second. Okay, we finally have everything. So this will be... We'll just re-output from the chest. That'll work as a buffer. How quickly do electric furnaces craft? 0.15. So we will have 4. I do want to connect this back up. This was a radar, I believe. We'll leave space for beacon. We'll make it so that we use the same beacon. And we'll do 4 of these. And we'll use my handy dandy blueprint. I'm gonna flip it vertically so that, or that didn't work. Maybe that way. Did that do anything? Interesting. Maybe this mod is now broken. It used to be working. It would flip. Yeah, it's definitely not working. Interesting. Well, that's sad. Because I really want to bring this down from the top, but my blueprint flipper is not working. Is it just because I'm holding it in the book? It is. Interesting. Okay. So if you're holding the blueprint book, it won't flip the one you're holding. So that should do it for steel and circuits, and then we need heat shielding and steel furnaces. So the heat shielding and steel furnaces can join up on a belt here and here. Actually gonna come the other direction with this belt. which should work fine. And then we power everything. Oh wait, I won't have room for beacons if I do it that way. Do this, this, and that. And then make sure to place on the far side. Okay. There we go. And we will do some undergrounds from here to here so we can power all of this. Is that working? Looks like it is. Beautiful. And I still don't think I can use productivity, which is a bummer. But we will put these in a chest, and that'll be nice. Anyway, I'll need to switch all my builds over to electric furnaces. So we will let this go to 4 stacks to 200 furnaces. Should be enough to change smelting setups whenever I need to. And what's the first thing I wanted to do with these? I think I just want to make some purple science. So that way I can get beacons going. So we'll delete this for now. And we'll add a new one and go rails. And then we will have production science. And then beacons with an exclamation mark, because that's going to make life a lot better. And then at that point, we will probably need more power. I'm just going to assume. Once we get going with beacons, we'll need more power. And so that'll be our to-do list for the next episode. I think I'm going to call this the end of episode 8. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure you guys have lots of ideas for how I can improve my builds. I'm not really trying to do things perfectly, but I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.